Alright guys, back for part 2. I'm going to start off cleaning my exhaust. Normally I would do this as I go around the car when I'm cleaning my wheels and tires, but I didn't do it last time, so I'm going to do it this time. I don't always clean it, but it's probably been a month since it's been cleaned, and I've also got something new here that I'm going to try out that I haven't ever used before. I'm just going to start off by just cleaning it up real good. I'm just using dish soap this time. Since the car is already clean from last week, I'm not going to wash the entire car, but I'm using some dish soap just to clean it up. And it's got to be my favorite brush, the Easy Detail. It's the same thing as the large Speedmaster brush, just depending on where you order from. If you were going to order from Detailed Image, then you'd buy this one, the blue one, or if you were making an order from Auto Geek, they have the red one, Speedmaster. And this is some wheel cleaner. It's some spray on rinse off by Poor Boys. I like it pretty good. I'll show you in a minute how it works on the wheels. I use it about every other wash. I'll use this, and then every other wash I'll actually get out the brushes and the heavy duty wheel cleaner and clean them that way. But you can see all the dark soot coming off of there. Wash out my brush. And there it is, the P21S polishing soap. I've heard good things about it, so we're going to try it out. You just get your sponge wet. I just dunked it in my wash bucket, and then the soap is it's kind of like a wax consistency. You just get it on your sponge and then scrub with it. Now you wouldn't want to drop this sponge on the ground. It's pretty porous, and you can see all the rocks and grit and everything on my driveway. I would have to get a new sponge if I dropped it. That one would have to just go in the trash. It's tough cleaning these tips because there's just not much room in here to get to everything. And the ends of the tips, this is the factory exhaust of the factory tips, and boy, they're sharp. If you're not real careful, you'll cut your hands. So just going to rinse it off now. It really made a big difference. You can see inside the tips all the soot that come out, and it looks a whole lot better. It looks new, and that's the way I like it to look new. Now eventually I'm going to get some different exhaust, probably go with Corsa with the rolled tips, but for now this is what I'm working with. You can see it compared to the other side, which I haven't cleaned yet. So yeah, the P21S, I like that. I won't use it every wash, but every 2 or 3 washes I'll pull it out and wash the exhaust tips. Let's take a look and see how this Poor Boys spray on rinse off wheel cleaner works. I'm usually not a fan of these types of products. I just I don't know, I'm kind of old school with my car cleaning techniques, and this kind of spray on rinse off stuff I've used before that just didn't work very well. But honestly, OCD is a guy I subscribe to. You should check him out if you haven't. And but anyway, he was using this wheel cleaner on his Hellcat, and didn't have anything but good to say about it, so I bought a bottle, and I like it pretty good. I'll use it every other wash, like I said, and then I'll use something like the Grio's heavy duty wheel cleaner and bring out the brushes every other wash. You can see my wheels are pretty dirty. That's only from about 20 miles of driving, by the way, that got them that dirty. Like I said in one of my previous videos, I think it was my 2-week review, that at some point I'm going to put ceramic brake pads on here to kind of get rid of some of that brake dust. Now I like the Poor Boys bottle as well. I like the way it fits in my hand, and it's got a good spray pattern for what you're doing. You can see here I'm spraying from different directions to try to get in all the cracks and crevices and all the little details of the wheel. Now what I did, I'm going to cut some of it out, but I let it sit for about 1.5 minutes. You could probably let it sit for a little bit longer, but I let it sit about 1.5 minutes, and then I'm just going to spray it off, and we'll see what happens. Again, when I'm rinsing, I'm going from different angles. Just try to get it all off of there. I don't know exactly what's in it, and I don't want any leftovers sitting on my wheel that might eat through the paint or the clear coat. And you can see it's not as good of a job as if I had scrubbed it, of course, but man, it is a lot better than it was. This is something, you know, you could, if you were going to a car show, as much brake dust as this thing kicks off, you drive to the car show, by the time you get there, your front wheels are dirty. Spray that on and bring you a squirt bottle with water in it, and then rinse it back off, and you'd be good to go. Dry it then, of course. But all right, so like I said, I'm not going to re-wash the car. I washed it last week, and it's not dirty. I probably could have done the same thing last week, kind of a touchless wash. It would do an even better job if I used the foam cannon. But so let's assume that this is starting off where we ended last week. So this is how I would rinse off the foam after I've washed the car. I would go around, I would rinse it off with the hose, not the pressure washer. The hose just puts out more water, and I just like to use it. So then here, I kink the hose. I've got my quick disconnect, and I take the nozzle off of the hose. And then I'm gonna, this would be my normal procedure, but I bought a new toy, so things are gonna change a little bit. But my normal procedure would be to sheet the water off, as you can see here. It's not the best angle because of the way the sun's hitting, you can't really tell, but that water is really sheeting off of there, and there's not near as much water left on the car after you sheet it off like I'm doing here. You can see in my left hand I've got the hose kinked, and the further you hold that back where you have your kink, the better, because that way you don't get that hose into the car. And just sheet the water off the car, go around the whole thing, sheet the water off. There's still obviously going to be some left. And then so my next step would be either to use the Meguiar's Express wax, like I have here. You can buy it in the gallon jugs, and then I bought this bottle to go along with it, that little piece of clay there just in case I need it. But so you buy it in the gallon. Now most of this stuff is dilutable, but this isn't. The Express wax is not. You use it straight. So you can fill up 4 bottles out of 1 gallon. And then the other product I've been using lately is Speed Shine by Griot's. I really like it, and I really like the Griot's bottles as well. They have a nice spray pattern and fit the hand better. The Meguiar's bottle, the bottle's fine, but the sprayer head I don't like it. It just doesn't have a good pattern at all. It almost throws droplets instead of a mist, and I just don't like it. Now I'm using my Pluffle from the Rag Company right here. This is the medium-sized one. It's one of my favorite drying towels. But in case you didn't know it, you've got to get it wet for it to work right. So that's why I misted it with water and then wrung it out. And it would have worked better if I'd have got it more wet and then wrung it back out. But so this is the way I would normally do it. You see, I just drag the towel across after I've sprayed on some Speed Shine or any kind of quick detailer. You can use anything for a drying aid that's a spray wax or a quick detailer. And you can see it leaves some tiny droplets, and so you kind of have to go back and rub it a little bit. But I'm rubbing very gently. I'm not putting any pressure. It's just basically the weight of the towel. So now here's the way I would do the sides. I'd fold the towel into 8s. That way I've got 8 sides, and or quarters actually, and that way I've got 8 sides. Mist on a little bit of quick wax, and then I'm just wiping, like I say, very gentle, just in case there's anything in the towel that might scratch or anything that I missed while I was washing the car. Lessen the chance of scratches. And again, just like we're washing, you want to try to go in straight lines as much as possible. Now you can see the spray pattern. You can see the droplets on the car, and I don't like that sprayer. Now on the flip side, I have bought some pretty cheap spray bottles with sprayers at Advanced Auto Parts that really work pretty good for like $3. I hadn't been using them long, so I don't know how chemical resistant they are, but so far they've been working great. You save a lot of money. That bottle and sprayer, you order that from Auto Geek or somewhere, you're going to pay about $7 for it. So you could have bought 2 at AutoZone and still saved $1. Like I say, just very gentle. Try to go in straight lines as much as possible. All right, now also I would dry the windows the same way. Spray on just a little bit of quick wax, go over it with a towel, and then the outside of the window then is clean. Do the mirrors the same way. All right, so here's my new toy. I bought this yesterday, and this is the way I'm going to dry my car from now on. Now I'll probably still use a quick wax, at least every other wash, go around and use a quick wax just to put another little layer of protection on there. But I tell you, I like this a lot better, because even it probably doesn't save a whole lot of time using the leaf blower, but you're not touching the car, so the less you can touch the car, the better. And so that's an Echo. It's about $160, and I like it pretty good. All right, so then the next step would be to dress the fender wells. I would normally do this before I dried the car, but like I say, this is kind of out of order here. And that was Adams undercarriage spray, and I like their bottles and their products. So you just spray it under there, and in places you couldn't get to and clean, these types of products will hide anything that you might have missed. My phone ran out of memory, but there's two other products that I'll just have to show that I can use in the fender wells and dressing the tires that I'll show in the next video. Here's some pictures of her, all nice and cleaned up on the outside at least. And I don't know if I'll get a video up next week or not, or if it'll be a detailed video if I do, but just subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and I'll get some more videos out there soon. Thank you very much.